let's talk about a simple science-backed rule that can help you beat procrastination and, honestly, learn just about anything. And yeah, it all starts with only 5 minutes.
You know that feeling, right? You get super excited to learn a new language, maybe pick up an instrument, or finally start that coding course. You go all in for a day, maybe two, and then poof, nothing. You just stop.
But what if I told you that the problem isn't your willpower? It's not some personal failure. The real issue is your strategy. You're simply making it way too hard to get started in the first place.
And this brings us to a really key insight. It's something called the 5-minute rule. And the core idea here is that learning isn't just about putting in the hours. It's about building unstoppable momentum.
The rule itself is, well, it's deceptively simple. You just commit to 5 minutes of your learning task. That is it. You set a timer, and when that timer goes off, you are totally free to stop, no guilt whatsoever. The barrier to entry is practically zero.
Think about it. Traditional learning often feels like trying to push a giant boulder up a hill. It takes a huge amount of motivation just to get it moving. The 5-minute rule? That's more like giving a small ball a tiny nudge at the top of a hill. It's a low-friction way in that creates its own momentum.
Just 5. That's the magic number. It's so small, so completely unintimidating that your brain really has no good reason to say no. It's kind of the ultimate procrastination killer.
So this isn't just some clever life hack, okay? It's actually a powerful trick that uses your brain's own wiring to your advantage. Let's actually dig into the science of why starting this small is so incredibly effective.
Neuroscientists talk about something called the activation energy problem. Basically, the energy it takes to start a task is super high, but the energy you need to keep going with that same task, it's surprisingly low. The 5-minute rule is designed specifically to get you over that initial spike of resistance.
So the first piece of the puzzle is something called the Zeigarnik effect. Our brains are basically hardwired to hate open loops. Once you start something, even for just 5 minutes, your brain creates a little mental note that this task is in progress, and that creates this gentle but persistent pull to go back and finish it.
And then you've got the commitment bias. The second you invest even a tiny bit of effort, we're talking those 5 minutes, your brain subconsciously wants to justify that investment by continuing. It's like, well, we've already started, so might as well keep going.
And this is really the heart of it all. You're not fighting your brain's tendency to be lazy or to procrastinate. Nope, you're using its own inertia, its own psychological biases to gently guide it right where you want it to go. It's like cognitive judo. Okay, so we've covered the why. Now let's get super practical. Here's an actionable plan you can literally start using today to learn pretty much anything.
Here's the 5-step playbook. First, set a timer. That is your guilt-free escape hatch. Second, get rid of that decision paralysis. You can even use an AI learning tool to give you one clear starting task. Third, focus intensely on that one thing. Fourth, end on a high note by tracking your progress. And fifth, automate the habit, maybe with a daily prompt.
Now, this all might sound great in theory, but you're probably wondering, does it actually work in the real world? Oh, absolutely. Let's look at a couple of quick stories of how this tiny little habit created some massive results.
So take this medical student. Instead of facing these daunting 2-hour study marathons, she started doing these hyper-focused 5-minute flashcard reviews using an AI tool whenever she had a spare moment. And the result? Get this, her information recall shot up by 30%. She learned more effectively, in less total time, and her stress levels just plummeted. That's the power of consistency over just brute force.
Or how about this? A 62-year-old who was just starting to learn photography. Instead of getting completely overwhelmed, she just committed to a single 5-minute AI-generated prompt each day. Just one small creative task.
She built a streak of 150 consecutive days, an unbreakable habit forged just 5 minutes at a time. This just goes to show, the rule works for anyone, at any age, learning any skill. It's incredible. But the real transformation here, it goes so much deeper than just being productive. This isn't just about forming a habit. It's about forging a whole new identity for yourself.
See, every single time you complete a 5-minute session, you're casting a vote for a new identity. You're not just trying to learn Spanish anymore. You're sending a powerful signal to your brain that you are the kind of person who shows up, who learns consistently.
And the data completely backs this up. Analytics from AI learning platforms show that users who stick with a 5-minute daily session for just 21 days
are 68% more likely to actually finish their courses. The small start is what guarantees the big finish.
And what this rule does so well is it short-circuits that paralysis of perfectionism. It gives you permission to just be imperfect and start. You stop planning to learn and you simply start learning.
This is the ultimate takeaway, right here. The goal isn't to do less, it's to remove the friction that stops you from doing anything at all. By making that first step ridiculously easy, you open the door to achievements you never ever thought were possible.
So I'll just leave you with this question. That skill you've been putting off, that book you've been meaning to read, that course you keep avoiding, what could you accomplish if you just gave it 5 minutes, starting right now?